In Pierce County, Washington, just south of Seattle, police say they may have narrowly prevented a devastating tragedy. A 13-year-old boy, who investigators believe idolized infamous school shooters, was arrested after authorities discovered a shocking stockpile of weapons inside his home. Along with the guns, police uncovered disturbing writings, drawings, and social media posts suggesting that he had been planning a mass shooting. On Friday, September 5, 2025, the Pierce County Sheriff's Office received a tip. Deputies were told that a young teenager in the area had made violent threats, claiming he wanted to kill people and that he had access to firearms. The information included references to school shooter ideations, with posts circulating online that showed the boy posing with weapons, wearing clothing similar to past mass shooters, and making explicit threats. By early Saturday morning, around 1 a.m, a SWAT team was deployed to the boy's home in Tacoma. What they found was chilling. Inside the house, investigators located 23 firearms. Some were tactical-style rifles mounted on the walls. Others were unsecured handguns left lying around the home. Several of the weapons appeared to be homemade, constructed using 3D printed parts, which has become an increasing concern for law enforcement agencies across the country. Perhaps most disturbing was what was discovered in the boy's bedroom. Beneath a turtle habitat in a heavy backpack, deputies found a so-called go bag. It contained multiple AR-style magazines, each one loaded and scrawled with writings referencing famous mass shootings, including the Columbine High School massacre in 1999. Alongside the weapons were drawings and images, idolizing known mass shooters. One crude sketch even depicted the face of a killer who had carried out a previous massacre. Court documents revealed that the teen had written alarming statements online, including, "When I turn 21, I am going to kill people," and "It's over, my time is almost here." Deputies also seized fireworks and materials that could potentially be used to build improvised explosives. Investigators pieced together a troubling digital trail. Since at least June, the 13-year-old had been posting photos and videos of himself holding weapons. In some posts, he dressed to resemble the attackers from Columbine, and for 2022 Uvalde, Texas elementary school shooting. One particular image showed the barrel of a semi-automatic rifle sticking out of what appeared to be a mandolin case, worn like a backpack. The caption read, "You'd never expect it." For law enforcement, this was more than teenage posturing. The writings, the stockpile of weapons, and the references to past tragedies painted the picture of someone who wasn't just fascinated with school shootings, but possibly preparing to carry one out. Deputy Carly Capetto, a spokesperson for the Pierce County Sheriff's Office, summarized the concern in blunt terms. It appeared the suspect had everything ready to go to commit a mass shooting type of incident. It is unknown who or what the intended target was going to be, but it's clear it was only a matter of time before a tragic incident occurred. On Monday, the boy appeared in juvenile court, where he pleaded not guilty to 5 charges, 4 of them felonies. These include attempted threat to bomb or injure property, unlawful possession of a firearm, unlawful possession of fireworks, and additional firearm-related offences. Under Washington state law, anyone under the age of 18 is prohibited from possessing a firearm, except in specific situations, such as hunting, attending safety courses, or participating in shooting competitions. This teenager clearly fell outside those categories. The judge ordered him to remain in detention, with a pre-trial conference scheduled for September 17th, and a detention review set for September 22nd. The discovery of unsecured guns scattered throughout the home has placed a spotlight on the boy's parents. At this point, they have not been charged, but the Pierce County Sheriff's Office confirmed that an investigation is ongoing. Deputy Capetto stated, "We are still conducting interviews, and it will ultimately be up to the prosecutor to decide if they will charge parents for improper storage and safekeeping of firearms or other crimes they feel are fitting." In Washington, unsafe storage laws make it a crime if a child or prohibited person gains access to a firearm and uses it in a crime, or even displays it in a way that causes public alarm. If prosecutors determined that the parents allowed these weapons to be left unsecured, they could face charges of their own. The boy's mother, who attended his court hearing, later said in an interview that she believed the disturbing social media posts were nothing more than an attempt by her son to, quote, be cool, among peers. But investigators say the evidence points to something far more serious. Court documents reveal that the boy was at last enrolled in the Franklin Pierce School District back in 2021. At the time of his arrest, he was being homeschooled and was not listed as an active student in any school district. A spokesperson for the district released a statement following the arrest, saying, "We were notified by local law enforcement personnel that a young person in our community was arrested for allegedly planning a school shooting. We continue to work with the Pierce County Sheriff's Office to ensure that this individual is not a threat to our schools or our community as a whole." This case is the latest in a troubling pattern of young people in the United States becoming fixated on school shooters and mass casualty events. In many instances, warning signs emerge months or even years before a violent attack. Social media posts, online writings, and concerning behaviour often serve as red flags, but the challenge for parents, schools and law enforcement is distinguishing between fantasy and genuine threat. In this situation, deputies say the boy wasn't just posting about violence, he had the means to carry it out. The sheer number of firearms, the homemade weapons, the writings, and the detailed references to past tragedies left authorities convinced that intervention was absolutely necessary. Footage released by the Sheriff's Office showed tables covered in black AR-15 rifles, handguns strewn across the floor, and 6 large boxes of ammunition. The images made headlines across the country, underscoring just how close this case may have come to turning into another devastating mass shooting. This arrest comes less than 2 weeks after a separate tragedy in Minneapolis, where 23-year-old Robin Westman carried out a deadly school shooting at a Catholic elementary school. Investigators later discovered a manifesto where Westman detailed a long-standing obsession with mass shootings and figures like Adam Lanza, the Sandy Hook killer. Authorities say these incidents highlight the disturbing ripple effect of past mass shootings. Each event seems to inspire copycats, some successful, others thankfully intercepted before they can act. The Pierce County case may have fallen into the latter category, but it demonstrates how widespread and dangerous the influence of these killers has become. As of now, the 13-year-old suspect remains in juvenile detention. His parents' potential liability is still under review, and his future will largely depend on the outcome of the upcoming hearings.